all the MECs that are here, the Executive Mayor of Mfuleni Local Municipality, Ntate Moerane, the Executive Mayor of Midval, Ntate Bongane Baloyi, the Executive Mayor of Lesedi, Councillor Mlule Kinkosi, the Speaker of Council, Me Andiswa Mosai, the Speaker of Mfuleni, Metso Kodibani, and the Speaker of Lesedi, Me Mapule Motsepe, members of the Mayoral Committee in the 3 local municipalities under CDB, the District Director, CDB West, Ntate Tate, and all our municipal managers in the 3 locals. And to the 40 of the 100 learners present here, who are our guests of honor, as dictated by today's events. Please do receive my warmest greetings and welcome this morning. To the Honorable Minister, what this event is not about is to parade the sorrowful and yet traumatic experience of these learners, as we will be giving them an opportunity to retell their painful insight as to how the pandemic has affected what was supposed to be a normal schooling life. Neither do we intend to use them as guinea pigs nor attention seekers without a valid cause. Amid to our mixed up life changes caused by the pandemic, we cannot afford to be defenseless just because the sun does not shine brighter today. Hence, I have found solace in the saying that, I open quote, gloom and despondency have not defeated adversity, I close quote. This is well captured by Maya Angelou famous word, still I rise. They are most difficult and trying times of our lifetime, as our mental, physical, and psychological strength is continuing to be tested daily. We cannot rest until we are all safe from the pandemic with the little resources at our disposal. And we should not forget about our fellow Africans added burden to the pandemic brought by the wars in their countries. Despite all our daily struggles to survive the pandemic, united as families in communities or as individuals. This event is also a display of our human character to share and learn from each other that indeed it was not lost during the fight against the pandemic. Above all, the ravaging effect of the pandemic, at least we still can afford to carry on, still we rise. With these sentimental remarks, I declare our meeting duly open and to proceed with our program as shared to all of you, our distinguished guests. Once more, you are all welcome in CDB. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Majoro. Another round of applause. May we now call upon Ntate Victor Teta to give us the purpose and outline the program of today. Ntate Victor Teta.
Thank you very much, Chairperson, for the opportunity, Mr. Yusuf Mohammed. Let me acknowledge the presence of our Minister, Angie, who's with us virtually. Acknowledge the presence of the MECs who are part of us. Acknowledge the presence of the MMCs, members of the DCC, who are part of this project. Acknowledge the presence of our Executive Mayor, Mayor Radu Muluka, and all Executive Mayors who are part of this. Acknowledge colleagues, leaders, and our learners who are part of this. Chair, I am asked to to deal with the purpose of the project and outline how the day is going to unfold. First and foremost, Chairperson, it will be critical for me to mention that the project is the brainchild of City District Command Council, and hasten to say it is a first of its kind. Through our deliberations, our weekly deliberations, we came to a conscious decision that we need to have a project so that we see how COVID-19 is impacting on learning. The pilot project is currently located within Citibank West Education District and will be expanded to our sister district, Citibank East, beyond the launch. Program Director, the concept document has been developed and the titles is Citibank West Investigative and Strategic Response to the Impact of COVID-19 on Schooling. We also looked into the rationale behind this particular concept, and we want to evaluate the impact of COVID-19 to schooling with the intention to providing support to our learners infected and affected by the pandemic. The collaboration of stakeholders within the DCC will strengthen our achievable goals. The concept document seeks to provide positive responses to gaps that might be presenting in the process of dealing with the pandemic in an integrated and coordinated manner by all stakeholders within Citibank and beyond, as coordinated by the DCC. Furthermore, Chairperson, it seeks to support learners in our townships and farm schools within the district by addressing psychosocial, enhancing access to curriculum needs, as well as curriculum delivery. Chair, as we start the project, we have identified about 100 learners that were severely impacted and affected by the pandemic. We'll be focusing on these learners with an intention of expanding the number of learners as we get more resources, so that we respond positively to how the pandemic has affected them. Schools from where these learners are coming from will also be targeted to be assisted as far as infrastructure and related challenges are concerned. Chair, when coming to the second part, how the day is going to unfold, is that these learners, 40 of them, like I indicated, they are drawn from a database of 100 learners. They will be having a dialogue with our champion, our minister, Angie, to share their personal experiences on how COVID has impacted on their lives. We have read about this. We have seen people present stories. Now we have learners from various schools, to be specific. There are learners who are here, they're from 4 schools. They will be sharing their experiences with the minister to tell us their real experiences as far as the impact of COVID is concerned. We'll then have a situation where the minister will engage with them, and later on will afford learners an opportunity to interact with the table. Leaders who are here, as questions are put, will then be interacting with learners as a way of dialogue. Chair, by and large, in summary, this would be the purpose of the day and the outline of the project. I want to thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ndate Victor Teta. Without waste of time, may we all rise as we welcome the Honorable Minister of Basic Education, Angie Motshekga. Can you check if the minister is connected?
Hear you. I'll phone you.
Okay. Or I'm muted. The program has muted me because I've unmuted on my side.
Can you have the executive mayor to do a formal introduction of the minister? Thank you very much.
You know, with this new technology, but the Minister for Basic Education, Angie Motshekga, these are the one of the women that, as South Africa, we are inspired by. We are also taking a cue from her leadership in the country, and I think all of us, we know her, Angie Motshekga. She was once MEC here in Gauteng, for education. You are welcome, Minister Angie Motshekga.
No, thank you very much, Mayor. Am I audible now?
We can hear you. You are audible.
Yeah. No, thank you very much, Program Director. Let me also acknowledge my mayor and the leadership of the municipality, and acknowledge you, Program Director, the principal and learners who are here, the donors and partners. Let me acknowledge you. Also the teachers, but also officials from both DBE nationally and provincially. And really thank you very much for this opportunity to speak to our very important people. You must wear them. That's the only protection we have so far. Because we really want you to be safe. You are our future. You are everything that we have as a country. Program Director says I'm very excited to interact with young people, especially this month where we're going to be celebrating our freedom. It's almost 7 years that as a country we really have had democracy. We're celebrating 66 years of our document as the root party. That sound coming, I'm sure. Okay. Can I proceed then?
Yes,
Say I'm muted now. Can you hear me, Program Director? Control.
Yes, Minister, we can hear you.
Control and shift and okay. Program Director, they say somebody in the meeting has muted me.
We can hear you, Minister.
So the system is misleading me. So I'm saying we're meeting on the right in the month, which is very important for us as a country. It's a month of our again our Freedom Day, which is coming on the 27th of April. It's a month where we are celebrating, as I say, 25 years of the signing of our Constitution, which is a fundamental instrument which guides our lives. But also as the governing party, we're celebrating almost 66 years of our key document, the Freedom Charter. And I want our kids to also continue to appreciate the importance of the Constitution. You may not know, my kids, I'm told we have the best Constitution in the country, which guarantees our human rights, guarantees our freedom, but also make us a very progressive democratic country. So that's a very important document and I was glad to see you reciting the preamble of the Constitution, because we'd like you to leave that preamble and respect the preamble of the country. But also, now that it's the month where we're also celebrating Solomon Masangu, we're celebrating Charlotte Motshekga, it's again to inspire our young people to say, this democracy didn't come easy. It came through the blood of people. Masangu said, my blood will nourish freedom. So he really has sacrificed his life. I mean, there's nothing bigger than life for a human being. He sacrificed his biggest asset, which is life, for us to be free today. And I really do pray and wish that our kids recognize those sacrifices, and they make sure that in everything that they do, they don't abuse or waste the opportunities that this freedom presents to them. But today we're talking about a pandemic which has really been extremely disruptive. It not only affected your schooling, not affected business, but it really wrecked the lives of other families. And I like what the mayor said, to say we're not calling people here to really demonstrate or to be showcasing people and their suffering, but to be talking about a very devastating a pandemic that really has destroyed our families. Some of us are very fortunate, have had also were infected by the virus, landed up in hospital, and took time to recover. And I can tell you, my kids, I had a feeling of what most people who got very sick from the virus have gone through. And for us to call you here, it's not to get you to demonstrate the pain that you have, but it's to share the pain that you've gone through and the losses that you have gone through. But while still the pandemic continues to disrupt us in our schooling, we are ready, Teta will even testify. Sometimes it's as if we don't know what we're doing. Kids are at school, they're not at school. Each time I go out of the house, I meet all sorts of painful encounters with young kids at the age of 11, in the streets, 15, just playing very early in the morning, which just shows how the pandemic has disrupted us. We've tried working very hard, and I must thank the Teta for the good results that your district gave us, and we remain indebted and very grateful to men and women like yourselves, who really, at the face of dangers, even and threats against their own lives, dared it out to try and save lives. Our fundamental principle, Program Director, is to, and it's very key to us, that we have to protect lives, whilst at the same time we have to protect the future and the well-being of our children. So we didn't ask kids to go back to school because we didn't care, but we cared a lot to make sure that we don't squander any life opportunity that they have of schooling and having their rights protected. But Program Director, because it's not my day, I don't want to give long speeches, is to express my gratitude to the district for supporting us, for the municipality, to express my gratitude also to the district, our district here in Sidibe, which is working very hard to make sure that we can give the best to our children, but more important to our children to say, this too will pass. This too will pass. The difficulties you might have gone through, I'm sure they remain etched in your hearts. You remain really, I mean, it's still very fresh. You don't want to unnecessarily open wounds, but to say to you, this too will pass, but make sure that when it passes, it doesn't pass with you. You have made the best of the opportunities before you. You succeed, you pass. If anything, you pass for those that left you, you pass for the pain that you've gone through, and just say, COVID, take it, I want it. Irian robber, and I'm not going to be broken. I'm going to be the best, more than I could have been without it. So, Program Director, let me not take too much of your time. I will interact with learners. I'm supposed to be traveling to the Eastern Cape, so I will also connect with them on the way. That's what is helpful about the virtual. So I will have to log off at some stage so that I'm at the airport at 2, but I will still remain connected through the device. But thank you very much for the opportunity. And again, to our children, you are everything to us, and we want nothing else but the best for you. Thank you very much, as I said, Program Director.
Thank you very much, Minister. Halala, Minister. Halala. Halala, Minister. Halala. Thank you very much once more, Minister. Thank you for the time that you have given us today. Thank you for the beautiful message that you have given us, including the learners. Without waste of time, we'll now call upon the inputs from the 4 learners that are prepared. I would not call school by school, but there are 5. There are 5 learners that are prepared. Can they come closer? Or you can speak from where you are sitting, but just raise your hands so that we know which 5 learners are going to do inputs. There's 1, there's 2, there's 3, number 4, number 5, in that sequence. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. She's the first one. Okay, you are the first one. And which one is the second one? You are the second one. Be prepared after her immediately. The third one, third, fourth, last one. Thank you very much.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I am Zandia Dlamini from Severe Primary School, a grade 6 learner. The new normal has impacted on my basic human rights. What if someone woke us up and told us that all that is happening right now in the world is just a dream? I must say that the new normal has impacted on my basic human rights. My right to health, education, freedom, food, and safety has been infringed by the changes that are happening due to COVID-19. Ever since COVID-19 started, lots of people got sick, including my loved ones. Sadly, I couldn't visit them when they were sick in hospital. In one case, my relative was admitted in hospital and never came back. All I heard was that he was no more. And because of this new normal, I couldn't even attend his funeral, and this has left me emotionally disturbed. My right to education has been taken away. These days, I no longer attend school as I used to, and this means that a lot of contact time with my educators has been taken away. My right to basic nutrition has been taken away. I no longer attend school as I used to, and this means that I no longer get food that I always eat at school, and this leaves me starving day in and day out. My aunt was infected with COVID-19. She couldn't breathe well, taste anything, smell anything, and had painful coughs. She had sleepless nights because she couldn't breathe well and had painful coughs. She couldn't even spend time with her family because she had to stay isolated until she was better. And this has left the entire family members really sad. My right to life has been taken away. I no longer play with my friends at home and at church. I no longer attend church as I used to because the government has limited the number of people that can attend church. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you very much. Can we assist the second learner with the mic? Yeah, there's the second learner.
Good afternoon. My name is Kolkote Tato, and I'm from Tolo Secondary School. Last year on March, the schools were closed earlier than they should due to the pandemic, and that got me really, really anxious. So I started asking myself questions like, how long will the schools be closed for? How long will this pandemic stay with us? And what will happen to our syllabus? But luckily, we are taught physical sciences by our teacher via WhatsApp. But it is not as effective as the physical teaching, and some subtopics I did not understand. On August, we returned to our schools, and I was not mentally prepared for the academics because of anxiety. So when we got to our schools, we were informed that our syllabus, we will not be able to complete our syllabus. The news the news, sorry, I'm so anxious. The news what the teachers told us was both relieving and exciting.
Let's take a deep breath. We'll come back once you. But let's just go to the third person because this is very emotional to all of us. So let's assist her with daughter also. Thank you.
Greetings to all. My name is Pavalali Sibu, and I'm from the school of Ramsekula Secondary School, and I'm currently doing Motshekga. Today, I was chosen by my fellow mates to come and speak to you about how the pandemic has affected us and our human rights. Firstly, we can all agree the pandemic has affected our mental state. We ask ourselves, am I next? Am I going to be infected? Is my family infected? Am I infected? We as children can agree it has taken our rights to provision, our rights to protection and freedom. I personally was affected by the virus, was infected alongside my family. Both my grandparents were admitted into hospital. My siblings and my unemployed mother we had to self-quarantine. During self-quarantine, it was hard. We didn't have enough food to eat. My mother was unemployed. February 2021, my grandparents came back home, but they were different. I asked myself, what happened? But I remembered that I once was told that once you get infected by the virus, things will never be the same. As I say so, my grandmother already had a heart problem, and unfortunately, she had passed away a few weeks ago. I have this indescribable pain I feel. The person that financially supported me is no longer present. The person I emotionally leaned on is no longer present. I have a pain my mates can relate to. We feel this pain we can't describe. The pain that we have is indescribable. The people we depended on emotionally, the people who made us who we are no longer present. So I say to you all, children of South Africa, children all around the world, people who work on a daily basis, let us protect ourselves. Let us protect our families. We are the ones facing the virus out there. People at home are depending on us to change situations. Nkosi sikeleli, Africa. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Are you okay? Okay, you can.
So as we return to our schools, we're informed that we won't be able to complete our syllabus because we're short of time. And that was relieving, but also depressing. Relieving because there will be less pressure for the grade 11 finals, but depressing because the pressure will increase in the next grade, in grade 12. And because we did not complete our grade 11 syllabus, we cannot fully catch up with some topics, some grade 12 topics that are linked to the previous syllabus. And in the next 3 months, we will be done with the grade 12 syllabus, and our pre-examinations shall begin. And I am anxious that we will have a third wave of COVID-19. But perseverance is the mother of success. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Can we have the fourth learner?
Good afternoon, everyone.
Can you just assist? Yeah, thank you.
Afternoon, everyone. My name is Yamkela Lutaka from Dinoganeng Secondary School, and I'm currently doing grade 11. So, I'm going to talk about my personal experience during COVID-19. So what really happened is that COVID-19 has taken someone important to me and very dear to me, because in English I say it's my uncle, was staying in Centurion. When I heard she was infected by COVID-19, I wasn't okay with that, because COVID-19, like Kala, we didn't take it serious as it is. And as time went by, I heard he passed away. It was before the schools were closed. And I wasn't okay. Mentally, I was disturbed, and physically, because life really changed after I heard. I started to take COVID-19 seriously, and what had happened to me has happened to a lot of people out here. My friends, families, and other people in Gabazi. So what I'm trying to say is that COVID-19 changed my sight, changed the way I see things, because the life we're living now must be under the regulations the government has put. We have to follow the regulations, and we have to change the state of our lives. So COVID-19 has changed things in my life, because ever since my uncle has passed away, I changed the way I behaved, because I used to play. When the schools were closed, I used to go out, but after realizing that COVID-19 spreads, no one sees it, but you'll hear after some time, you are infected. So I started isolating myself with my family. I started playing safe with all the regulations the government has put. So as I'm speaking here, I want everyone to be alert that COVID-19 is still in progress. COVID-19 is still attacking and killing our families, people out there, because I think it was yesterday when I heard there are 1 million cases still out there. So I started to think, I thought COVID-19 was decreasing, but ever since the second wave attacked, things are being worse, because esikolweni asisonke. Maybe grade 11s and grade 12s are going every day, grade 8s once a week. So life is being difficult, but time hasn't stopped. Time keeps going forward. So as I'm saying this, I want everyone to be alert and protect himself as soon as possible, because once you get affected, you won't have time to do the things you should have done before. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Can we have the last learner?
Greetings to the house at large. My name is Motshekga. I'm currently doing grade 12 in Dinokaneng Secondary School. I'll be talking about how coronavirus affected me and how it violated some of their human rights. Last year, I lost my grandfather due to coronavirus, and I had to make plans in order to attend the funeral, and the funeral was in Eastern Cape. When I got the permit, I went to Eastern Cape and I attended the funeral. I had to attend the funeral in order to get closure for myself. So I attended the funeral and I came back to school here in Gauteng. When I came back, I had to isolate myself from others because no one wanted to associate with themselves with me, because they didn't know whether I was infected or not. So when I came back, the president declared that the schools had to be closed. And the school closed, and they opened in August. So I had to prepare myself for the exams. Imagine the pressure I had to put in order to pass. It was very overwhelming. Some of my rights were violated. The right to movement. Everyone had to have permits to move from one province to another. And the right to health care and medication. It affected me badly because I suffered from discrimination. A lot of people didn't want to associate themselves with me because they don't know whether I'm infected or not. So after my grandfather died, the situation at home worsened. He was the one paying for my school fees and stuff, meeting my mother halfway. So when he passed away, we had to move from the school we were schooling from to a public school because my mother couldn't afford the fees. And when we moved there, things weren't as normal as before. I had to normalize myself to the life I was living. Now things changed. So their right to religious liberty was also violated because at the funeral there were only 50 people, and as amaXhosa, it is a must that we see the deceased before putting him or her in the last place. So at that time, the deceased body remained at the gate. The freedom to education as well. The freedom to education as well was violated because we didn't know whether tomorrow or any other day where the president will say, let's stop schooling until further notice. So we have to pressurize ourselves because we don't know when the school will close. So in order for us to pass, we have to pressure ourselves, normalize the way things are right now due to the pandemic. It's a must because our opinions aren't allowed. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We also thank you for opening up to all of us today. Let me not waste time, but of course allow the panel to say one or two words. And they'll be assisted by the executive mayor, including the Victor Teta, so that immediately after they would have said 2-3 words, we then move directly to the question and answers from the learners and the panel. And of course, let's also hope that by the time we go to questions and answers, we will get hold of the minister. She indicated that she's flying out to Eastern Cape. So can I allow the panel? Thank you very much.
Chair, thank you.
Just a little. As when we raise few issues from the panel, I know that there are MECs that are also part of the session. If they do so, if they want to respond, they are most welcome. They'll just, because I know that it's also on the groups. So we'll then identify MECs that would have wanted to indicate few things. They are also welcome. Thank you very much.
Chair, thank you very much. Let me start by thanking our learners for having put their stories across, painful as they are, touching as they are. As adults, listening to you in the hall physically, and adults that are part of this meeting virtually, we have heard you. Your stories are touching. Your stories are moving emotionally. That is why our kids, we have assembled you, the manner we have done, so that in the process of unloading your feelings, your discomfort, telling us how the pandemic has impacted on your human rights. We give responses to that. We want to acknowledge what has been said. Part of the program or the project we spoke about, myself and the executive mayor during our open remarks, is that we have taken a conscious decision to come closer to you and assist you, because we know that the effects of pandemic affect different learners differently, so that responsible leadership in the Citibank region would then extend a helping hand. You would have been informed that beyond this, there is some help that will be coming your way. It's an open secret that to respond to your problems, for example, of not coming daily to schools, the gadget that will be handed over towards the end of the program to yourselves, it's an attempt to assist you to learn remotely when you're rotating. It is true, you would have heard what our mother, our champion, said during her input, Angie, Motshekga, that the effects of this pandemic are devastating, very painful, and she has also shared some personal experiences with this particular meeting. We, as we speak, are accommodating our learners in schools on daily basis in a rotational fashion, so that we accommodate your learning. We're going to be supplementing that moving forward with the gadgets. It's a new normal, all of us, we agree, we have said it in this meeting, but that's the best that we, as the leadership, we could assist. Having said that, I will then pause, Chair, and hand over to our colleagues. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'm just being advised by the executive mayor that let's take questions from the learners, and of course we'll also check if the minister is still available, including the MECs that are here and the panel. But let's then take note of hands. I saw one hand, number one, number two, number three. Are we okay this side? Number four. Yeah. Let's in that sequence, right? We'll only do 2 rounds. We'll only do 2 rounds, so this is the first round. It's number 1, number 2, number 3, I think number 4. Yeah, thank you very much.
I'd like to greet you all. I'm Kainisila from Tarabula Secondary School doing grade 12. I would like to ask that at my school, we don't have water. How are we supposed to wash our hands if we don't have water and if we don't have electricity? How are we supposed to work with the tablets and the smart boards, if I might ask? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Number 2.
Greetings to all.
As we all know that from the previous year, we've been going with weeks at school. So I'd love to know that, should we be worried as grade 12s that the school might close again and the pressure might be even more than it is right now? As she said, we have the problem of water. It is not a good thing to have a problem of water because we have to wash our hands. How are we supposed to learn when we have only 3 hours to be at school? And the SIPs and Saturday classes won't be progressed because we won't be able to go to toilets or even clean our hands with water. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Number 3.
Good day, everyone. My name is Siyabonga Malindi, and I would like to ask, now that there's a possibility that we might be facing the 3rd wave, are the schools going to close again like they did last year if we get more cases of COVID-19? Thanks.
Thank you. Number 4. Are you number 4? Number 4, yeah. Are you number 4? You spoke already, right? Yes, number 4 is there. Can you have the number 4?
Good afternoon to you all. My name is Motshekga. I am currently doing my matric at Tinokane Secondary School. Last year, coronavirus affected me academically very bad. Even though I was studying and having sleepless nights because of studying, I didn't have the mentality to understand some of the contained topics in some subject. So because of that, I just want to ask, how can I understand things easily if it happens that the 3rd wave attacks the economy just like last year? Because I'm really worried that the coronavirus might affect my marks, might affect me by dropping my marks, and again might block me from reaching the destination of success I want to reach. So, yeah.
Thank you very much. Can we take last hands so that as when we respond to all questions? Is there any hands? Number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. Yeah, thank you very much. This is the last round, right? We agreed that we'll do 2 rounds. So we have 4 hands again, number 5, number 6, number 7. So we have 7 hands. Right, then number 8, number 9. I don't see a hands for number 9. This number 9. Okay. So this is the last round, right? But remember, you have an opportunity also to ask the minister a question direct. Thank you very much. We'll then respond, number 11. We'll then respond to all questions, starting from the first round, right? So can you go in that sequence? Where's number 1 again? Where's number 1? We have 11 hands. Can you get number 1? Yes, 1. Where's 2? There's 2. Where's 3? There's 3. Where's 4? There's 4. That's number 5, that's number 6, that's 7, that's 8. Where's 9? 9. You are coming back again. Warropa jwale. Warropa jwale. All right, but we'll give you an opportunity. So thank you. Let's go in that sequence. Thank you very much.
Good day, everyone. I'm Judith from Tsolo. So, since there's a huge possibility that we may be on a third wave, my question is that should we be worried? Because we also what happened with the previous matriculants, they were doing self-learning and also online learning. So most of us, we don't have the means to access the internet. We don't even have cell phones. So what's going to happen to us if we might go on a third wave? How will we be given phones or what? And even right now, we cannot handle the pressure because the previous terms, we didn't do all the syllabus. So right now, there's too much pressure. Should we be worried if we might go on a third wave? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Can you switch off number 2?
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Billy Skosana. My question is that my school, I'm from Tsolo Secondary School, we have a problem of clogged toilets and sewage problems. It's very unhygienic to us because always the bathrooms are always clogged and we can't really use the bathrooms efficiently. So my question is are our bathrooms going to be solved? Is the problem that we have with sewage and our toilets going to be solved? Because with the pandemic, we cannot be using dirty toilets and always having sewage problems. Thank you.
Afternoon. Yeah, I just want to ask about, should we be worried about vaccination? Because in social media platforms, we are hearing comments about this and that. The vaccine will make us get sick more and things like that. And I want to ask about the hygienics we're struggling with at schools, toilets, classrooms, and outside, because we need a clean area and a fresh breath. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Number 4.
Good afternoon to you all. My name is Philip Mfundisi. I come from Tinokoneng Secondary School and I'm currently in grade 11. I want to ask about the vaccination rollout, because now it seems like the vaccinations are going to reach people first. Like people who have money, they're the ones that have been vaccinated. What about us in our schools? Because it seems that they are not coming, they are not reaching us. Because most schools, like private schools, most of the learners have been vaccinated, except for us. When will the vaccinations, the vaccines, when will they reach our schools? Thank you.
Thank you. Number 5.
Good day, my name is Kiarabito Ramaja. I'm from Tsolo Secondary School. My question is, in each subject we have cases where we have to work in pairs or groups. How can we work in pairs if we have to maintain social distancing? As people, we can't maintain social distancing. And others, we have listening problems. How can we communicate through our mask if you can't even hear ourselves? Thank you.
Thank you. Number 6.
Good afternoon, everyone. I go by the name of Larato Mabaso from Tarabolo Secondary School. Actually not going to ask a question to you. Actually going to make an awareness of what I think you do not consider. Firstly, not what you actually do not consider. I meant the violation of COVID-19 to the people on the communities, as most of the people are living on poor communities. We have been having a shortage of water during the pandemic, shortage of water, shortage of food. The load shedding was having a high percentage of happening, and we also have been, the COVID-19 have also influenced our health. We are living in the environment that is actually not clean for people to stay in, or to have to trust that they are living in a hygienated area. We also got affected by the COVID-19 from the freedom of movement. During the lockdown, people actually had to stay in their homes for a quarantining process, and we were only given a certain short time of going out for necessary purposes. And during that time, as we had people not believing in that coronavirus is real, people also got affected, and we had people affected, and families were separated from their families during the isolation thing. To my story, last year on the 4th of November, I lost my grandmother, and it was very painful for me to lose a person like her. After her passing, certain things, everything changed. I had to relocate. During that process, I had to be aware of the realistic of the coronavirus, which is actually happening right now, and we still having a lot of people not being aware. And we are actually affected, but I believe that the government is not considering the basic needs and the violation that the pandemic has actually doing to the poor communities. With all that, I'd like to thank the space I was given.
Thank you very much. Next. That's number 8. Number 7.
Greetings to you all. My name is Motshekga from Dinokane Secondary School, and I'm doing grade 12. My question is, we are all getting worried about this third wave that is coming. So I would like to ask that, when will this pressure end? Because we are attending school Sunday to Sunday just to improve our marks. From last year, as many topics are based on last year work. So I would like to ask that, as the grade 12s, are we going to close the schools or not? Because the marks are dropping more, not less. And we promised the school that we will give them 100%. So how are we going to give them the 100% while this pandemic still continues? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Number 8.
Thank you. Greetings to all. My name is Joseph Mbuto from Ramsukula Secondary School. I am doing grade 12. My question is, how can we help our school? Because when electricity was gone, we don't have a water. We use a borehole, and at my school was already dirty. And le shurisha teng kotopa teng ha itletse e khalla pela fela school monana, and kopa fela hape ho botsa potso e nngwe. We have 4 containers at school, and the learner was not already have a fele ka ofela ka ga container. Ke a leboha.
Thank you very much. Can you go to number 9? Assist number 9, please.
Thank you. Bengisafuna ukubuza ukuthi njengoba i-third wave iza sizwa kakhulu on social media ukuthi the vaccine, even if uhlabe i-vaccine angeke, like even if uhlabe i-vaccine with third wave isazokuphatha i-COVID. So I just want to know ukuthi is it true or not? Thank you.
Thank you very much, number 10.
Greetings to you all. I go by the name of Sesam Shesh and I'm from Tula Secondary School. So my question is, currently we might be expecting the third wave to approach. So I would like to know, like, how are the grade 12s expected to work hard and pass, whereby our schools are busy getting closed and open at the same time. At the end, we're expected to work harder on our subjects and improve them. Thank you.
Thank you very much, number 11, which is the last one. Okay, we'll make you number 12 because you wanted the last bite, right? So you'll be the last one. Can you go to number 11? Thank you.
Greetings to all. My question is, if one of the learners gets infected and then they decide to drop out and stay home for the rest of the year, will they be given a chance to repeat next year as we're doing matric, or is it a fail for everybody? Thanks.
Number 12, which is the last one.
And I would like to ask is there any other options to protect myself from COVID-19 other than wearing a mask? Because I have a problem with sinus and sometimes I struggle to breathe when I'm wearing a mask because it suffocates me. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We also welcome all your questions that will be responded to. Can we get the minister first to respond? Immediately after the minister has responded, there are different departments who are part of us today. We'll also request the different departments to respond. We are also led by our panelists here. The mayor also here of Sidibeng will also respond, but let's then allow the minister to respond first. Thank you very much.
Our learners for being very open and being very interactive and engaging with us, as I say, from the heart.
Can the minister unmute? Can the minister unmute? We can't hear you this side.
I'm unmuted.
Now we can hear, Minister.
Oh, you can hear me now?
Yes, Minister.
Okay, no, thank you very much, Program Director. As I said earlier, I'm driving, so maybe let me pull off soon and see if we can stop somewhere. Yeah, okay. Program, just give me a chance to pull off the road. I'm sorry about this. Okay, Program Director, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you,
Yeah.
Minister.
Yeah, I really want to thank the organizers and have not acknowledged to Lerato Dumeshe, and I thought I would greet her separately. Program director, I'm very grateful that we have this opportunity to interact with our children, but I also am grateful that they were open and really raised issues that affect them. The other point I just wanted to make also to our children is that, as much as we say COVID has robbed people of their rights, rights are always accompanied by responsibilities. I had thought and I hope that after really raising what rights we have been robbed of, we will even hear from our learners also to say, in view of the fact that no one is responsible for COVID-19, it's a pandemic which has hit the world, what will be our joint responsibility to mitigate so that people should not ask what is going to happen to me, because no one knows. I mean, on this third wave, we all don't know whether the third wave is coming. And if it comes, we don't know how it's going to come. And if it comes, we don't know what to do. And that's why we have these dialogues to say this is a common problem for all of us. And all of us have to hold hands to say, how are we going to mitigate against this? So that as much as we have rights, we have responsibilities for our own lives. So that I think our children should not ask us to say, what's happened? I'm in matric. If the third wave comes, what should I do? I want to be honest. I don't know if the third wave is coming, how it's going to come, and if it arrives, what should happen. But what I know is that ourselves and our learners and our parents and our communities, our leadership in communities, jointly will find solutions. But it's not anyone who has to answer, because no one has the answer. So I thought I should just raise the question of responsibilities, that rights go with responsibilities. What is their responsibility? I hear our responsibility with toilets, with sewage, with water is our responsibility. But with really trashing places, making rooms dirty, it's their responsibility. So what is it that we do from where we are to make sure that jointly we can deal with COVID-19? All of us have got work to do. Together we should find solutions. The class of 2020 succeeded because they took it upon themselves. They used to use cell phones, they did all sorts of things, they worked as groups. But if we're going to be victims, there's going to be a problem. So I really humbly request our children to say, we should really move out of the mentality of victimhood. We should move out of the space of not only being victims, but also the space of entitlement, to say somebody has to answer, somebody has to take responsibility. On my own, I don't have the responsibility. You have responsibilities. If you say, this mask, I can't breathe, we're saying a mask protects you and protects other people. So we can't say, no, if it suffocates you, don't wear it. So if you have virus, you're going to give us virus, go and find a breathable mask. There are breathable masks, but we can't say, because you suffocate, it can't work like that. You have a responsibility to yourself, you have a responsibility to others. So I really want to say to our kids, it's in our hands. It's a problem that is here. Yes, there's no water, but the virus is here. What do we do? When we brought sanitizers in schools, we acknowledge the fact that we don't have water and soap all the time, but what is important, we have to be safe. And to be safe, experts guide us who know. They say we have to wash hands, we have to wear to wear masks, and we have to safe distance. We can't have a situation where, say, if there are subjects where we have to work together, how can we social distance? We're saying it's health first, it's safety first. So you have to distance. So the fact that we did things the certain way last time, it can be. There's this horror which is threatening us, threatening our children, and it's here. It's here. There are infections every day. There's no escape, and we should do that. So the vaccination rumors also, I appeal that let's listen to facts. That vaccination will make you ill. Well, what are the facts saying? What are the scientists saying? On such a serious thing like a corona, you can't work on the basis of rumors and suspicions to say money, vaccinations go to rich people. It's not true. You should listen properly what the government has said. They said vaccination is going to start in terms of priorities, in terms of risks. The people who are mostly at risk are doctors because they have to receive sick people, isn't it? They have to receive sick people so that the ones who are mostly at risk, therefore, they are the ones who are prioritized. The next group is what? It's the police. Police have to interact with us on the street directly. They become a priority. We're going to prioritize teachers because we want teachers not to infect you so that when we say schools must open fully, they are protected. So the vaccination plan is it's clear. It's informed by risks, it's informed by priorities, but it's also informed by science. So we can't base our information on suspicions, on also conspiracy stories. I just think it's a problem. So we must listen to experts. Grade 12s, and that's what I was saying to grade 12s last year, program director. You know, we can't have a temporal solution for a permanent matter. Your matric results, it's the most important paper in your life. So you can't, there is no way that we are going to be changing exam papers for you. The paper of 2021 was set in 2019. So it's not going to change. So what it means, you have to pull yourselves with your own shoe bootstrings because you are going to write the same matric. So that even when you're older, you're my age, you're not seen as a person who has a COVID certificate, which is weak, which is not equal to other certificates. So it means dark or blue, you have to do whatever it takes. And that's why we're talking to you. We're talking to you not because we have all the answers. We're talking to you because we want to work with you to find solutions because it's in your hands. And some of the things that some of your learners are saying are true. This other learner was saying, her grandmother saying, after you've had infection, things will never be the same. I can tell you personally, they're not the same. You come back with depression, you come back with fatigue, you come back with all sorts of things which linger long after the virus. So what is important? You protect yourselves. Don't complain. It won't help. Don't complain about the mask. If the mask suffocates, you find a breathable mask. If there's no water, find an alternative. If the subjects need you to work closer with friends, stay away so that you have a social distance. And that's what it should be at heart, and say, together with yourselves, as much as your rights are violated, what is your responsibility towards yourself and towards others? Because we are told by scientists that this virus comes through the mouth, the nose, and through the hands. So you have to protect. People don't infect themselves; they're infected by others. So you have to protect others whilst you protect yourselves. So with Corona, it's not only about yourself; it's also about other people around you. So, Chair, I just thought I should raise that. I hear lots of victim mentality. I hear lots of entitlement, and maybe that's how we have coached it. But if virus is saying all of us, it's in our hands, even with small kids. What I would expect high school kids to say, this is my commitment. I've experienced coronavirus. I've seen it in my house. It's very depressing to be self-isolated. This is what is going to happen. Because government didn't bring the virus. It didn't. So it can't take responsibility alone. The virus has fallen on all of us as nations of the world. So all of us, young and old, have a responsibility whilst we have our rights. So you can't say, hey, there's no water, what should we do, Rona? There's COVID-19, the third wave coming, what should we do? I don't even know what it's going to look like. I was hit by the second wave. If I knew that you can run away from it, I could have run away. So I don't know what's going to happen. We will be guided by science, but what is important, we will have, all of us program director, to commit to take responsibilities for ourselves and for others, and to take our lives in our hands and understand that we are not victims, we are not entitled to anything. We have rights, but we also have responsibilities. Thank you very much, program director, and thanks for being patient with me.
Can we now have the MEC MEC Faith Masibugu to respond. Do we have other MECs in a meeting with us to respond? Stakeholders, COGTA, Department of Health, Department of Education. Okay, maybe we'll come back again. Can you allow the panel here in front to...
We can't hear you, unmute.
Can we have different MECs who are present
They can't hear me.
or different departments to respond? We'll come back again. Can you allow the panel here in front to respond?
Thank you, Chairperson. Chair, generally, I think learners are aware that we do have a challenge in terms of our infrastructure in Citibeng on sewer, but there is an intervention that as government we are intervening in that regard. But we also cannot just leave our kids, our schools, without those fundamental basic services, like for water provision. We'd know that during level 5, all our communities were really struggling with water. There was extension of water tankers to assist those communities. The very same thing can still happen with our schools, particularly in Everton, where our water pressure, it's a serious challenge. So from the DCC point of view and the Mfuleni local municipality, we will attend to that to make sure that you can't go without those basic services. Also on the issue of the toilets that are blocked in the Teteta, we can work in together to make sure that we assist learners in that regard. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much, Majoro. Victor.
Chair, thank you very much. I think by and large we have been covered by the minister and the executive mayor here. But safe to say there are those specific questions that were put across as well. For example, there was a question on the learner or learners who drop out. Will they be given an opportunity? Our attitude and posture is that we would not love learners to drop out. We would do what is humanly possible to save the academic year of all the learners. That is our priority number one. Two is that in the event learners drop because of reasons beyond their control, we as the department take case by case so that we accommodate different learners, and in the process no learner must be disadvantaged. I know Tarabulo is one of the schools that was repeatedly vandalized, and in the process of being vandalized, the the electricity also was stolen in the process. But the department has since appointed a contractor so that the school is assisted. As far as water problems are concerned, I think the executive mayor has alluded to that. We also know that Dramusugula is our farm school. When the electricity goes, you don't have water except those 4 tankers that are there and that we fill them from time to time. And I'm sure with the support of the executive mayor, we'll take care of this. We have noted some of your questions, and I'm sure the various departments and units within the department will then be visiting schools to make sure that problems as raised by yourselves are attended to. Because unless we deal with those problems and arrest them before they become a crisis, we will not deal sufficiently with the effects of the pandemic. Chair, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Victor. Is there anybody who wants to respond from the panel? Thank you very much. Can you just check for the last time, those that are still part of us in the meeting, if they still do want to respond? Okay, thank you very much. Can we then be given the gadgets? We'll then do a handover of the gadgets led by the mayor and the panel. Can we all led by the executive mayor to hand over? Then immediately after the executive mayor, the panel will follow. Halala, halala. Halala, halala. Halala technology, halala. Thank you very much. Can we get settled again? Yeah, di wileng ka speed bana baka. Ene ke tsa lona le fane ka tsona ngir. Do we agree? Halala government ya rona halala. Halala government ya rona halala. Halala government ya rona halala. They are now going to demonstrate how to log in, right? Are you ready? Liwitsi kaofela. Yeah. Ntate tlo le bontsha gore le etsa jwang ne? La di bona dintle jwang? Ke tsa lona ne? Forever, yes. Are we ready?
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kutlwana Lesotho from Tarabola Secondary School. And I'm here to show you how to log in with the GDE content. When you open your tablet, you'll have to enter your email address firstly. Then after your email address, you'll have to go to Chrome and enter the www.gde content.
You know, let's do this. Stand here, face your iPad, let it face the camera so that it reflects. As when you are pressing so that they are able to go directly to how you are demonstrating.
As you can see here on the screen, I've entered the GDA content.co.za. After you do that, the content will show you many grades as possible. Don't be shocked when you see all the grades. The grades are here to help you. You know, last year we didn't get a full chance to learn and get access to more information. When you see all the grades, these grades will help you to refer and get all the knowledge that you need. And I would like to thank the government for giving us this portal. This portal helped me a lot. This portal helped me get access to information that I didn't know. I would like to thank you for this portal. And I would like for all of you to use this portal to ensure that you get knowledge and you get access to whatever you need. And I would like to ask you to include more knowledge so that you can get more knowledge. Thank you.
Motshekga. Halala technology, halala. Halala technology, halala. Alatawa. Motshekga. Thank you very much. I hope Livoni little the operators with these words. Thank you very much. Let me thank everybody. It was a very nice session.
Yeah.
Thank you once more. Thank you once more. We are the future of tomorrow. Can you now allow my colleague, MMC Zazaraikane, to do the closing remarks? Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Program Director, MMC Yusuf Mohammed, Thank you very much, learners. You are so fortunate to receive this iPad that will assist you going forward. And Ntate Theta, I know that we are now excelling when it comes to the issue of the results in our townships. But I've experienced today that we have brilliant students from township schools. So which means we are now changing MEC ministers wherever you are. Thank you very much for the good work that you are doing on behalf of our kids here in the township. You are now today, you are our VIPs. Remo Kalona. If it was not you, you should have not been here as this panel that is sitting here today. So, Realilebua Haholo, I wanted to say to you, thank you very much. And I think that you know what you are going to do with those iPads. I see the iPad, it's our Google the person. I see the iPad, it's our Google the phone, it's expensive. You'll get your expensive phone when you are working, except what you have. If you don't have, challenge and your stories are so touching, Executive Mayor. Really, it's so painful, but I want to say to you, be strong and take care of your future going forward. I wanted to say to MMCs that are here, from all 4 municipalities, Lesedi, Midval, and also Mfule and Sidibeng, I know that most of our MMCs, DCC members that are present in the visual, I want to thank you so much for being part of us. MECs, MEC Mbali and MEC Mazibuko, I know that you are aware because this is the program that we have started since January with you to say this is what we wanted to do for the students of Sidibeng. Speakers from 3 local municipalities, our chief whips that are here, thank you very much for being part of us. The mayors, 4 mayors that we have, Ntate Moerane, Ntate Mululeki, Ntate Baloi, Linoti Ekholo Ernaliona today, Mel Rato Maluka. I wanted to say thank you very much for being part of this program. That was a very successful program. And Edie, when you were talking about this program since January, I thought it's just a minor program. But I've seen that it's a very important program. I just want to say to our stakeholders, thank you very much. And I'm just thinking that you can do more from what you are going to do. MM and your team, thank you very much for making this day. And I know that you are not going to succeed if you are working alone. But together we can do more. So thank you very much, Municipal Manager, with your team for making sure that this program become a success. All DCC members, Department of Health, I did not say anything, MMC, I did not say anything deliberately. It shows that it's 2 o'clock, reloca out. After the end of the program. So, yare bontsha hore ha re le di visualeng re le hae So I wanted to say thank you very much. And it shows that bana ba rona they are listening to the TV. Mare le skela tshoswa ke 3rd wave. And all of us, we are going to get vaccination. A ke re register. Re start up pele ka di frontliners. Immediately after that, everybody will get vaccination and will all be safe. The training thing for us is to make sure that we protect ourselves. The gatherings, before when this COVID started, those that are over 60 are the ones that are going to be affected. But today, because you are going to the gatherings tsa lona, the party tsena tsa lona tsa ko di parking and all that. Now you are the ones that are getting that infections. So make sure that you treat yourself, you become safe. O ske wa tsamaya dintho tse tshwanang le tseo. I want to say to our partners, thank you very much. And I'm not going to mention the names because I know that NYS is part, Department of Education, Department of Minister, Angie Motshekga was part of this program. I wanted to say to you, thank you very much. Let us all adhere to the regulations. The mask, there was my learner here on the mask. We need to make sure that we protect ourselves. The mask ke mathata. O tla ba na le break ha o bua ha ntse o khutlela kapa ha o ja. Immediately after that you put it back. Ha re ya di funeraleng ha re tse bosho ba re ha re tlala. I've seen in most of the funerals. Re bona batho ba bangata, it's more than 100. So ha re tryeng ho fokotsa ke mo re tholang this pandemic teng. Let's make sure that dintho tse jwalo ra di avoid in making sure that we become safe. And the gatherings, the family gatherings, the party and all that. After the funeral, you go home, you get your package, highly siko hayo, we high. Marantwangwe ki boning executive me. Batuba unante batlaba di khomo, how tlaba khomo for batuba 100. Utlo yetan nama eka local. Lastly, before I close, I wanted to say, Executive Mayor, as the NMC responsible for social development, if we can get the names of the families of our learners and maybe distribute food parcels to them and maybe taking care of them. Because I was also asking in the SGB meeting election yesterday to say really, because of this thing, Victor, we have poor learners that are depending on the food that they get koskolo. And if aduti high, I'm asking myself, what are we doing? It's another thing for another day. We need to make sure we give this food to our learners. So even matata immediately after this, what are we doing with the food, and what are we doing with the learners that are not getting food in making sure that because you can't be educated. So we need to make sure that we are taking care of you. We will get the list with the Department of Social Development and give it to the regional office and make sure that we are coming to give you food parcels so that we do it for 3 months. After that, we come and check Minister Ocholo, Bandi weekend emonati, Ari Tokomeleng, Harry Shape Matso, Harry Kenyan di mask, Harry Adi Molong. Let's make sure that we can say the mask, Modi texting, Kiabonal Modi texting, but Tuabangata have a Kenyan di mask. Little driver had the mask. Let's make sure that we protect ourselves. And I think there's something for our learners. There's something who literally say malabari. Something. I think Harizwa Mona will get something. Thank you very much for the program, and we are still expecting more going forward.
Thank you very much. Can you just request all learners to do a group photo with the mayor very quickly before you go out? There's food packs that are prepared. Mara, how can they fill a uniform? No uniform, no food packs. Uniform, food pack. Ne? So can you just get her quickly in front so that the panel can take a group photo with you? Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm being reminded the meeting is adjourned. Thank you very much. Yeah. Yeah.
ngoba nikhuluma akufanele omnye nathi